Hello everybody and welcome to Benjamin Magnus Plays Hearts of Iron 3 with the World War I mod. Now I just finished up a playthrough as the German Empire. It only lasted for 18 episodes, which is extraordinarily short. I managed to beat Russia and France by basically about late 1915, and I've been going over the map trying to figure out who I want to play as next, and I think I'm going to end up going with Russia. I've heard it's very tough. And I also heard Austria-Hungary was tough, but I wanted to play on the other side of the war, so we're going to go with Russia. All right, now from what I've heard so far, part of the problem with playing as Russia is the national unity is extraordinarily low. You have low IC, low leadership, and you need a ton for consumer goods, which is right here. I mean, the entire military is clearly out of date. If we need 142 IC into upgrades, but we also need to make sure that our descent stays low, which means almost everything's going to have to go into consumer goods. So let's quickly go over this. I'm just going to throw automate trade on because I don't like doing that myself. I find it kind of tedious. I like to focus more on production and combat, things like that. Do we want to do this ourselves? I feel like let's put it on prioritize upgrades. Is it going to... We got it on prioritize upgrades and it's putting it into production. AI control, normal AI control. Huh. Prioritize production, prioritize upgrades. Oh, well, I guess we'll let it tick by a day. Maybe it'll fix it. Sometimes it fixes itself on its own. It looks like we got a bunch of pre-dreadnoughts and maybe a cruiser coming. Let's see, flotilla. Yeah, those are pre-dreadnoughts and an armored cruiser coming. I'll probably let them finish up. We have a lot of strategic resources, which is pretty good. Armor build speed, oil to fuel conversion, naval build speed, naval build base efficiency, casualty trickle back, supply throughput, money, rocket build speed? Rockets. Okay. Winter effects, heart attack, a lot of good stuff. So technology, this is going to be really important. We're going to drop the officer ratio down to 0. We're going to drop the Diplo down to 0. We're going to drop the espionage down to 0. We don't have a lot to work with, but what we do have, we need to make work for us. So, I think first thing I'm going to do is go to industry. We're going to do all of these guys right in here. Leadership, manpower, attrition, and casualty trickleback. We're also going to do the production ones. We're going to do the efficiency one. And I think that's it in here. The only other thing in here that would really help me out, because I do have a good amount of resources, is supply production. And that takes up 8 of the 14 we have available to us. Now the rest, oh look, these are way out of date. This is going to be bad. This is going to be rough. So what do we want to do? What do we want to focus on? Not the Navy. Probably not heavy artillery. I never ended up using it. Let's do... We're going to skip these. And I think what we're going to do is basically focus in and try to make our infantry as best as we can. I didn't end up using engineers at all. I mean, if we have to pick some things to work on, it's going to be like artillery and infantry. No, we're going to skip that. Skip that for now. Supply transfer costs, supply organization, and repair rate. I'm going to take those right now. Okay, let's actually unpause this. And I do apologize that it's in full screen mode. For some reason, Hearts of Iron 3 is much more stable while you're recording in windowed mode. I don't know why. Ooh, more efficient laws. Let's see, what was that one? Specialist training. That makes everything take longer. I wish I could disable these so I didn't have to look at them. Let's actually go through here and see if there's anything. We got resources and chemical engineering decay. This is counter-espionage, threat impact, counter-espionage. See if we can find any better leaders. Political intel. National manpower modifier, human wave doctrine. That's fine. Artillery practical decay. Ruling party support, artillery practical decay. Nothing huge in there. Destroyer practicals, capital ship practicals, aircraft. Thinking capital ship practical might be slightly better. And air, yeah, there's not a lot in there to work with. Ooh, I can create puppets. I can create lots of puppets. I can give I can avoid the Russian Revolution by creating the Soviet Union and White Russia. Interesting. Alright, so let's let one day tick by and see if that... No. Guess it's not going to take care of that correctly. Looks like we'll manually control this. Supply 94, Jesus Christ. I mean, we don't need supplies right now. We can try to get it into upgrades for the moment. Okay, the Russian military. I think it's got to take a bit of doing. So right now we have almost 2 million men in the army. Mostly pretty spread out, mostly pretty useless. So what we're going to do, I think what we're going to do is basically take everybody out that's of any use. So like here, we'll let's grab this whole thing. We'll take the garrisons out. Everybody else, let's strategically redeploy way back over this way. I'm just going to leave the garrisons where they are, and then we're going to start moving everybody else out. So they're on their way. So let's grab this one. Again, we'll leave any garrisons behind, but everybody else is going to come with us over this way. Albanian uprising. So that's going to be down over here. I'm interested to see how this is going to go from a slightly more historical perspective, I think. Looks like my industry was a little far ahead. Yeah, I'll take those off then. That leaves us a little bit, 15 projects. Well, let's add a little bit more on there just to make sure it's utilized properly. Artillery, that's good. We don't know anything there. Probably land doctrine. That. Supply consumption, guerrilla warfare, supply consumption. Okay, we'll do that right there. For now. I mean, in my Germany playthrough that I just finished, I barely got anything cool done. I didn't build a single airship. I didn't build any aircraft carriers. Alright, this is not... What is this doing? If I give it full control, it should be able to handle this correctly. But it's not doing anything. Alright, so we're gonna put on manual control. I'm gonna leave that down actually for now, and the reinforcements down. See if we can take care of some upgrades. Some. That's specialist training, right? Do I want that's recruit time? I don't know. That's only 10% longer for 10% more. Wait. It can? Cannot afford the cost associated with. What is the cost? Is it money-wise? I guess we'll just leave it for now then. All right. Intelligence. What do we want to do? We want probably to raise national unity and counter espionage and ruling party support. Well, let's do it like this. Give it a 3-2-1. I hate doing it, but let's put a... I hate taking it away from tech, but let's put a little bit into espionage right now because our national unity is really, really low. Super low. All right, what do we got over here? Those guys could probably stay where they are. Persia. I don't think we're going to need anybody over here to garrison this. All the troops we can muster, though, are going to come on over this way. Even the militias. The militias I can upgrade to regular units pretty easily. Like these guys. You can upgrade them to infantry at a reduced cost. Just trying to see where everybody is. Garrison, garrison, garrison. Those guys can stay down there. It looks like pretty much everybody, right? All right, so these guys, let's take them, move them over here. Once everybody gets into the area, we can start kind of taking care of the situation. I'd like to build more industry, but the game really doesn't make that terribly possible. The reason I'm doing another World War I mod right after the... Yeah, I know they're in poor supply. A World War I mod right after the other one I did is because I don't feel like that one really lasted long enough to give me a good understanding of the mod or to really flesh it out. I wanted to give it another go before moving on to a different mod. I mean, we got, at the time of this recording, just under 2 months before Hearts of Iron 4 comes out. So there's a little bit of time. Yeah, supplies are super low. But I mean, we don't have anything. What could we do? Let's see. Let's look at our tech, not tech, politics? So let's say we wanted to go from mixed industry to heavy industry. That's not going to do anything, really. Massive education, war economy. We're already on war economy? And we're only... Oh, Jesus. So, the only way to go to total economic mobilization is to be at war. Huh. South African independence. So our Union of South Africa annexed independence, which is now part of their country. So that's down there. So we're going to try to fly through some of this early stuff pretty quick-like. Is it because they're out of supplies? No supplies. Well, we're not even creating any. I mean, oh, that's so rough. Well, we are going to complete those ships pretty soon. That's going to free up a little bit. I mean, not even, maybe it's, the way the game is going to try to, you know, emulate the Russian problems in this area at the time. I'm seriously considering abandoning this whole area. I mean, this huge salient was where I destroyed like 100,000 Russian troops when I played as Germany. I created a huge salient here and crushed them around Warsaw. And it was Warsaw and Lodz here. I don't know, is it Lodz or Łódź? One of those two. And we're out of supplies. But we are going to free up a little bit of IC rather quickly. Not really concerned that I'm out of supplies right now. We can fix that. Yay, ships were constructed. We got a bunch of pre-dreadnoughts. Alright, so. Let's go in here. And drop that down. Oh, that's killing. Is that being that far out of supplies? Is that causing attrition? What if we do it like, a little bit of supplies? Or what if we do supplies for a little while? Yeah, that's causing attrition, isn't it? Let's look at the supply map mode. So the supplies should be coming, not from Riga, from St. Petersburg. I think moving a lot of these troops closer in will actually help too. Like these guys over here, leave the garrison behind, move them up here. That should help out a little bit. If the supplies don't have to go as far, then they're a little bit better. Japan annexed Korea, that's fine. See the supplies moving out now. So everything we got available basically is going into supplies. Unity's going up. That's good. If they run out of supplies, does it actually kill men? That's what I'm wondering. I don't think it... thought it reduced organization, not strength. I don't know, a lot of people seem to be disappearing. What What are they dying from? Are they starving to death? They must be starving to death. There's not too much I can do about it, though. I mean, nothing's going into upgrades or reinforcements. It's just supplies. So, do you just kind of sit here and watch your army slowly starve to death? Portugal, they had a revolution. Yes, I know there's units in poor supply. Everybody's in poor supply. We don't even have the IC to supply our troops. Maybe... I mean, we could disband some of the garrisons. Do we need garrison units? I mean, that's not gonna... It's not gonna put a huge dent in this. Technology. I got supply production coming. But that's not going to be done until February. Yeah, none of this stuff's going to be done in 1910. It's all going to be done next year. So I think what we just have to do is kind of eat it for now. Just swallow the pill that the game gives us at the start here and do what we can. Well, 91 is a little bit lower than it was. Man, that is rough. Is there any way can we buy supplies? I mean, I have it on automate trade, and it's not trading with anybody. So let's sort by someone who has a surplus of supplies. I don't have any Diplo points. Alright, let's get a little bit of Diplo points and see what happens. See if we can't buy some. I expected the game to do it for me. I know the AI is not great, but I thought I'd be able to take care of purchasing some supplies. Let's see, we give them crude oil, they give us some money. That's okay. So right now, all we're doing is we're trying to make enough supplies. Give them okay, that's fine. So let's see if the US will offer a trade agreement. Let's say we want to buy supplies. No. The US will not trade with us. Alright, so decline that. What about the United Kingdom? Oh, it looks like they had supplies. Germany has supplies. Nope, they won't trade with us either. Looks like Proto-China over here. Nope. Also does nobody like us? Nobody really likes us, do they? Nope. Nobody wants to sell us supplies, it seems. So maybe that's why the AI wasn't doing it, because nobody wants to deal with Russia. That's a possibility, of course. We have a huge surplus of spies now, so why don't we go back to tech, drop this diplomacy down just to 0. Espionage, let's drop it down a little bit. I mean, we don't need to spend that much. And I guess we'll just sit here, and we'll fly through 1910 and 1911 and 1912 and 1913 and 1914. Well, 1913. Not 1914 is when we're going to have to start paying attention. And we'll try to get the nation to a point where it can at least support the military it has in the field. Yeah, like these guys are like attritioning out. Like 1 man a day or something like that's dying. Well, so I'm thinking that supply production and the industrial production efficiency is going to help out a lot. Russian ruler leadership troubles minus 33%. I wonder whether that's going to go away. I honestly don't know. We no longer receive supplies from the Ottomans. So we were buying some supplies from the Ottoman Empire, and they told us to bugger off. Well, if Romania... Now, it's great that we got that stuff built, but we can't afford to actually put those arms in people's hands just yet. That's not a thing. We no longer receive supplies for money. So it looks like everybody... I mean, we have money. Nobody wants to deal with Russia, though. Why does nobody like me? Why does nobody like Russia? Agriculture advanced, that's nice. Industry, that would be right there. Alright, so we're probably going to want to go to land and start getting a little bit more of this in here. Organization for AA, AT, Arty. Okay, so we'll take that. Delay Doctrine, that's good. Where's Trench Warfare? Is that in here? Trench Warfare is right there. Need Elastic Defense, level 3. So we'll get that going. Alright, integrated support. No, I don't think that's necessary right now. Infantry organization. Okay. Get a couple of those land doctrines on there. And we're just at a speed 5 for a while. This light artillery, this beginning stuff's a little on the boring side, so we're just going to go through it quick. Like, I don't necessarily anticipate this series being very long. Oh, and it's January. Oh, it's almost February. Man, that speed 5 really flies on by, doesn't it? Howitzers. Not gonna do heavy artillery. I never built it when I played as Germany. Never built it once. We'll go a little bit in here, and we'll let the rest start coming. Hopefully, I mean, we can't even make our people happy. You know, with the consumer goods and supplies, we can't produce enough goods to make our people meet home demand, basically. Make our people happy. Meet the home demand. Thank you. And supply the military. IC 7.5. Okay. Okay. Advanced construction engineering. What is that? That should be in here. Allows construction of infrastructure. Okay. Didn't know we couldn't do that. And we're going to keep going on this. What we're actually going to do is go boop, 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 boop. And then back up to the top. There we go. Now, that did not go up at all, did it? Nope, there it went. Went up 4 points. And this did go down a little bit. Again, can't exactly meet the needs of the army, though. I mean, 84. We need 84 for supplies. Ooh, I could actually, and we have about 65 in it. Research efficiency, that's nice. Make our research go a little bit faster. I mean, the Balkan War should erupt. Italy should go to war with the Ottoman Empire. We'll see how that goes. I'm very interested to see what happens with Italy in this playthrough. Almost said game through, because in my playthrough as Germany, Italy stayed loyal and attacked France and not the Ottoman Empire. So I'm assuming that because I don't control these guys, that things might go a little bit more historical. I'd love to get this unity up a little bit. Let's see. Fractured government. Spies raising national unity. That's actually doing a decent amount right there. Albanian uprising. It goes up slowly, but steadily. And I mean, the attrition's getting a little bit better. Still, we can't even look at the upgrades. Jesus Christ. Jesus freaking Christ. The upgrades are god-awful. The Russian military at the start of this war is going to be terrible. What I think I'll probably do is, it'll be, lightly garrison at the Romanian border. I don't know if anything's going to end up happening with them in this playthrough. And then it'll probably be pretty heavily garrisoned up through here. At this point right here, gonna have to sacrifice Łódź and Warsaw here. Try to draw a line from this river up to the forts here, and hold the line at East Prussia if possible. Hopefully, no Battle of Tannenberg for us, but we shall see. What was that? No longer receive money for fuel. Are we not... Where's the... I thought the list of trading was in there. So we're not trading with anybody. Let's make sure our domestic spies are very active. Let's actually send some spies over to Germany and see if we can't... let's do a counter espionage and increase tech espionage. Let's see if we can't steal a tech from them. That'd be nice. We have the spies available right now, so we work with that. More spies, more national unity. Is there a way to prevent the Russian Revolution? Like, if you get your national unity really high, can you prevent the Russian Revolution? That'd be interesting. More leadership. Great for me. We were at 14.4, I believe, before. Up to gave us about an extra point to work with. Let's put like one solid point into diplomacy. And a little bit... Okay, that's good. Officer ratio is fine. So at 100%. And we can get it up higher later. And again, this is pretty static now. I don't think it's going to change for a while. Oh, here are the trade... These are all my trade routes? Yeah, they're right here. So, importing supplies from Japan. Basically, I'm selling a lot of stuff. Except for power. Do we have enough ships? We do. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Supply transfer cost. That's good. Because that means it takes supplies to move supplies. So that means it will take less supplies to move the same amount of supplies that it took before. So that'll mean less will go into the infrastructure, basically. Yeah, that dropped by about 3. Which, I mean, is not great, but it's better than what we were working with before. Supply production will be done in August. This will be done in October. Supply organization, what is this one going to do? Supply throughput, that's not going to make that big of a difference. Supply throughput is how much total supplies can move through a province given a specific amount of infrastructure. Our infrastructure is really pretty good, honestly. There's level 8 railways, basically, all over Russia. I would imagine some of the worst infrastructure would probably be in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's actually kind of funny, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, because it's so multinational, that there were a lot of different gauges of railways in Austria-Hungary. So a lot of times, internally in the country, you move from one station to the next station, have to disembark from one train and get onto the next train, move a little ways, disembark from a train, get onto the next train. And I believe when they actually did mobilize, troops in this section of the empire had to actually move down towards the Adriatic coast and then swing back around, basically transit the entire empire to get towards the Russian front, because that was the easiest way for them to do it logistically without, having to load and unload troops all over the place. See, we got a decent amount of arty in the military, I noticed, which is good for me. Should we squeeze ahead? August? That's not too far away. Machu Picchu's been discovered. That's basically what's going to save our bacon here. I think is the supply production thing. I mean, we're still we're below the minimum, basically. Still, I would be perfectly happy if by the start of the war, it's like a Moroccan crisis. Russia gains threat on all, gains 50 manpower. Russia loses 30 neutrality. What just happened? So, all of a sudden, we want less consumer goods. So, we have... What changed? It's because we're less neutral? I mean, we're already on war economy. Well, that's fine with me, because that puts me in a safe situation. That's perfectly fine for me. Didn't anticipate that, but I'll take it. Consumer goods dropped down to 88 from 117, which means we can max out our supplies and have just a little bit left over on upgrades. I'm not going to bother with reinforcements right now. We got years to work on reinforcements, so that's not terribly concerning to me. What is a concern to me is getting our units upgraded. That is what is a concern to me. Right now, I would imagine the Russian military would be completely horrendously stocked in terms of the small arms it could take to, it could bring to bear against an enemy. So I want to make sure that we focus everything we got right now into getting the most out of the troops we have in the field. That's always my goal in these games when I'm playing Hearts of Iron, is to get the troops upgraded. 75, good. 20 IC into upgrades. I will take it. That will slowly get me upgrades. That will ever so slowly get me upgrades. We got supply organization coming through, industrial production, industrial efficiency. That's good. Okay, I'm a little bit more happy now. It was really hideous there in the beginning. We took a lot of attrition out of a lot of troops. You can see that right through here. A lot of people died due to starvation because we couldn't produce enough supplies to get out to the men. But that situation is solved in mid-1911. Took us, a year and a half of the game, but we sped through it on speed 5, so it went pretty well. We're going to leave this right here. If you have enjoyed this, folks, just drop me a like, leave me those comments right down below, and if you are interested in more Benjamin Magnus plays Hearts of Iron 3 with the World War I mod, just subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time.